I am sweating my ditties off, right? The first job of today I'm going to take you on is reducing a privet hedge. It's getting up to about 34 degrees. 34 degrees, guys. 34 degrees. How mental is that? Absolutely toasted I am. Here's the privet hedge here. It's quite long actually. Not so much tall. Well, it's tall towards the bottom end of the garden, and that's mainly where the reduction was. I mean, most of this job here, right up until about this point, was a nice trim, and then, you know, I had to start reducing about here. So it's going to be a hell of a job, and, you know, this was after 2 other jobs as well, and it was just coming into the heat of the afternoon. I had to do that beech hedge as well. But let's start off up here. I think I missed that in the first video, but yeah, it started off as a laurel, and then it turned into a holly, and then finally transitioned into a privet. So this job here is actually the next door neighbour of a regular client of mine. So I go to this other regular client of mine. It's a fortnightly client, and I go and look after her lawn and other bits and bobs in the garden that she needs doing, really, to be honest with you. And I think this neighbour has seen me, you know, tackling the hedges in the other garden, and was like, maybe he can sort me out. So that's what's pretty good about this job. You know, when you're working in gardens, you get neighbours popping over, you get neighbours introducing themselves, you get neighbours coming around and saying, look son, you know, I've seen you work. And if you're doing a half decent job, you know, you don't have to be perfect. If you're doing a half decent job, you're tidying up after yourself, you're polite to your client, you know, and you can have a laugh with them, you don't take yourself too seriously, you'll get loads of customers, because they'll feel comfortable in coming up to you and asking, you know, would you help me out? And that's how I get a lot of my jobs, to be honest with you. You know, people passing on my number, because people are more likely to have a service if their friends or family have recommended it. It's just the way it is, you know. If they have somebody that they trust, say that this gardener is trustworthy, then that's good enough for them. It's all right going on the internet, looking at reviews and stuff, and, you know, as many stars as you can have, 4 or 5 stars or whatever. Nothing beats a personal recommendation, at least in my eyes anyway. And you know, you become friends with your clients. You become good friends. The more time you spend with them, the more time you get to know them, you start becoming comfortable around them. And it's, you know, it reminds me of going to a 9-to-5 job and having that, you know, bit of crack and stuff with your colleagues and whatnot. But this was a nice wee job. Well, it wasn't wee, to be honest with you. It took me a good while. This you know, it was just one of those tedious jobs that you just had to maintain a kind of standard the whole way through. I tried to make that as level as I possibly could. Towards the end, it slopes a little bit and curves, but client's happy enough. You know, she says that the garden feels a lot more open now, and, you know, it's just something off it's just a weight off the chest, isn't it? You know, another thing down, another thing ticked off the list. So have a good one, guys. See you in the next one.